Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EURUSD. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit the ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video. Good morning everybody, welcome to the Forex Daily Video Research. Today we will continue to talk about the euro currency. Today the 23rd of December, so this is the daily chart of euro currency. And yesterday, as you remember, we discussed this price action in this area price action around this red line, that is MACD predictor indicator. It shows us the trend. When the price is above red line, trend is bullish. When it's below it, trend is bearish. I said that if market yesterday will show in the beginning of the day move below the red line and then doesn't confirm that, returns back, this will be the MACD predictor failure pattern that could lead us to take out of the previous highs in this area. But this hasn't happened. Market trying to shift trend to bullish but failed and closed below the red line. But at the daily time frame still there is one very important moment. Look at this. The previous day, yesterday's trading session, was the inside day to the Tuesday day, and this situation is very similar to this. Look at this. If you remember, we have talked about this in my weekly research, that Friday price action was the inside day for the Thursday price action right here. Well, by itself it's not the particular important signal, but when the market forms the inside day, it usually leads to the possible move in one or other direction during the nearest future. And in general, if you take a look at the current week, you see that market stays in the tight range, just coiling in place. Okay, so I think that we can expect some thrust bars in one or other direction, and possibly this will be some thrust bars to the upside, especially if we will see today the trend shifting to bullish. Market will close above the red line, then possibly we can count some retracement to the upside. If it will happen, I do not tell that it should happen, but if it will happen, then we can see this ABC bottom pattern. The nearest target is 133.97, it's roughly 134. This area also the monthly pivot point right here, 134.18, and daily confluence resistance. I marked just the 3.8 resistance, 134.55, but 6.18 resistance from this high to this low is just below the 134 area, so this target coincides with this area of resistance. This is very important on the daily time frame. Just the moment that we should track nearest future. Well, in general, maybe this price action is due to near Christmas and New Year's Eve, and just the market is just calm down and waiting for the starting of the new year. But in general, I just share with you my thoughts on the current price action this inside day. Possibly market doesn't accelerate to the downside, and possibly we can expect some move to the upside, especially if market will show us the MACD predictive failure pattern in this area. Now on the 4-hour chart we also see one bullish sign. First of all, a market hasn't reached 100% expansion from this ABC tab pattern, that is 130.43. It's right here. Also this weekly pivot support 1 around 130.37, and hasn't reached the 100% expansion from this pattern ABC tab. Just turns to the upside. We can see this bullish wedge is forming, and market hasn't reached the lower border of this wedge. This is the bullish sign. Usually when the breakout of the wedge takes place, it very often starts from the inability to market to reach the lower border. So market hit lower border, retraced, hit lower border, retraced, doesn't reach it, and break this wedge to the upside. That's almost all important on the 4-hour chart. Nothing to add right here. So this the same areas that we have discussed million of times. Weekly pivot point 132.65 and 4-hour conference resistance 132.31, 132.80, 48. Well, these areas are stay the same. The more interesting moments on the lower time frames, especially on the hourly chart. Here, as you can see, the same pattern that I showed you yesterday. This is trend lines that support current coil of the market. So market hit lower border of this, stays between these trend lines, but yesterday market hasn't reached this area of support and turns to the upside. Well, the major point, turning point right here will be the breakout of this area. It's around 131.80 because it was the support. Now this is the resistance area. Also, you can clearly see the bullish convergence in this area. What about price action during today or maybe tomorrow? Okay, look at this picture. This is also the same hourly chart. You can see this nice butterfly pattern is forming. As you already know, the butterfly is the pattern that usually tells us about the ABCD Gartley fails. Well, this is ABCD pattern that we have talked about on the 4-hour chart, and market now doesn't reach 100% expansion from this pattern, turns to the upside. If this butterfly will work, what we can expect? First of all, look at this ABC bottom. 100% expansion is right here, 131.80, precisely at area of resistance that we have just discussed. It's right here. Also, this is agreement. The next area is 127 target from this high to this low. This is target on 127 butterfly cell. 1618 expansion from this ABC pattern is right here. It agrees with Fibonacci resistance 132.8048 that we have discussed on 4-hour chart. So I think that this will be the nearest target of the possible move to the upside. This area 132.34, 132.50. If this market will break out this area and butterfly will start really to work, this will be the next target. So a couple of scenarios on the daily time frame. We see the inside the possible MACD predictive failure pattern. On the hourly chart we can see this nice butterfly. So I suppose that we can try to possess ourselves on the long side with the stops just below this swing low, because if market will break it to the downside, it will reach at least 130 area to continue move to the downside. But if you will be right, then possibly we can see 132.50 area. But be careful, because market's really thin right now. It's nothing really happened due to eve of the holidays. So be conservative. Reduce your trading volume, tight stops. Maybe it makes sense to enter with the stops just below 618 support of this leg to the upside. Maybe something right here. If you still want to intend to take this pattern and would like to trade it.